Question for you. On the Facebook page, it says it's Wahama versus Wirt baseball. Is there a way to change that? That's what I thought, but on Facebook it still shows the other one. Okay, if not, no big deal. I'll just talk it through. But all right, well, I went ahead and started the stream, but I'm gonna jump off here and get on it. So, all right, later. All right, welcome in here to the Wirt County Fair. We are able to sit here and stream the hog show today. It's a little bit different than any of the other things that we have done, but one of the big things that we've wanted to do with this is be able to showcase all of the students in Wirt County. Not everybody plays a sport. A lot of people, farming is a big thing in this county, and a lot of students are devoted to their 4-H or FFA project. So we wanted to be able to come out here today and show you guys their projects and all the hard work. Usually it is a couple announcers and a cameraman, but tonight it is just me. So we will do the best that we can as far as trying to get everybody coverage and get everybody to where you can see the projects in the ring. But at this time, we're starting with Class 1. All of these hogs are, well, two of these hogs, first being exhibited by Bentley Parsons, is 200 pounds. Holden Sears has a hog in the ring that is 200 pounds. And Alex Lott has a hog in the ring that is 205 pounds. And Riley Hall is exhibiting a hog that is 205 pounds as well. So this is our first class of market hogs. The weight limit is 200 to 300. But if your pig is over 300, they have changed the things to where it allows you to be able to still compete for grand and reserve. So we will have some heavier weight hogs we'll get into here in a little bit. If you didn't hear earlier on, our judge is Carter Hall. He has come here to judge tonight's show. So as they kind of go along here, we were kind of joking earlier. I showed hogs in high school. It was my freshman and sophomore year, and looking back, it's hard to believe that it was 16 and 17 years ago. So things have changed a lot in the market hog industry. So as Carter gives us his reasoning on why he places these livestock classes the way that he does, we'll be able to tell what he's looking for here tonight. And by the time we get into the latter part of this hog show, we should have a pretty good idea on where things are trending. So in years past during hog shows, they will look at everybody, and sometimes as he figures out the ones he wants to focus on, judges will run pigs out of the ring. I'm not sure how Carter will do that today. As you can see, showing a hog is not one of the easier things to do. They kind of have a mind of their own, and they go wherever they want. So they've all kind of congregated down here by the barn. They all want to go back to their pens. They don't want to stay in the ring any longer than they have to. So all four, the three showmen, and Riley, she is doing a great job out there with their hogs, staying in good contact with them. But as Carter's bringing us the results, I'll quiet down and let you listen into Carter.
But we're going to go ahead and use the young lady here with the solid black pig to go ahead and win. Just in terms of shape, I think that one logically finds its way to the top. Study that one's base width, its chest floor, and that one in terms of just being the stoutest with the most shape. I think that one's center skeleton is good. Just in terms of its overall body shape and rib shape, I think a good place to go ahead and start. The young man here in the 4-H shirt is one that's going to be second. I really like that one's shape up high. I think it's got lots of muscle shape up high. In terms of its chest width, it's wide and bold. In terms of the blade angle in that gill, I just think we can lose some power there with losing some forward rib shape to the one that goes ahead of it. But the young man's done a nice job with that one. The young man there in the FFA shirt with the belted hog is going to go next. Another one, super stout up high. I like that one's blade angle. I just think for as stout as it is up high, its face width just gets a bit narrower for me. I'd like to see that one with a bit more rib shape. Then the young man with the red spotted one over here. Super long body, super athletic. Just want to see some more muscle shape on that one. Let's give those kids a nice round of applause.
All right, Class 1 of Market Hogs have exited the show ring, and the results of that will be first place is Riley Hall, second place Bentley Parsons, third Holden Sears, and fourth Alex Lott. So Riley will come back here after a bit for the grand drive, where they pick their grand and their reserve. So they'll take the first place of every class and bring them back into the show ring here at the conclusion, and they will then pick the best hog in the judge's eye in the barn. So Riley will go back and put her hog in the pen and come back and see us here in a little bit. So starting Class 2, as you can see people coming in the ring, we got Cree Hill. She's exhibiting a hog that weighs 215 pounds. Levi Lucky will be exhibiting a hog that is 215 pounds as well. Liam March, Ruby Murray, and Wyatt Boyce will all three be exhibiting hogs that weigh 220 pounds. One stark difference I can tell you from commentating in sports venues and commentating in the inside of a barn is it's a lot easier to do it at sports venues when there's not sawdust flying around everywhere. So Cree Hill's pig here seems to be wanting to take off from end to end. It's always frustrating as an exhibitor when your hog keeps running. Every time you get close to it, it'll take off from you. That's some of the fun of it as a spectator is watching these hogs get in here and kind of just, it almost sounds like they're barking and running around all over the place. So as an exhibitor, it's an uneasy feeling when you're continually walking back and forth. Ruby Murray seems to be doing that as well. As the hogs continue to run back and forth and you can't catch up to your hog, it makes you a little bit embarrassed. But all the exhibitors have kept their composure and are doing a good job. As you can see, they just keep running. It's a little bit of a circus at the moment. All the pigs are running everywhere. The exhibitors are just walking beside each other, and I don't blame them. A lot of exhibits, you know, with the cattle and the sheep, the goats, so on and so forth, you get to put a halter on them and lead them around the ring. The pigs, you just hope that the work that you've put in, that they don't get excited around the other hogs and take off and run. And when that happens, there's not a lot you can do about it. I know the Facebook caption is going to tell you that this is a baseball game. I will be the first to tell you that that is not accurate. We're trying to get it fixed, so hopefully the tech guys that are remote can get that fixed, and we'll have it shown. It is the Wirt County Fair Hog Show. All of the hogs have kind of gathered down there around Judge Carter Hall as he's kind of, you can, on the camera, I don't know if you'll get a good angle of his face here, but it's not an easy position being in the livestock judging. I think you could bring 5 different judges in here and you'd have 5 different opinions. So it's at this moment, it's his opinion, and how he judges is what the results will be here tonight. So we are moving along efficiently here. We're about to wrap up Class 2. It looks like he's walking back towards the stand to get, well, he's ran a couple of the hogs here out of the, one hog has left the ring, so he's kind of narrowing it down to the ones that he wants to focus his eyes on here towards the end of this show, or the end of this class, I mean. Some of the most entertainment that you guys might have watching at home tonight, and we'll try to do a great job of it, is every one of these gentlemen in here that's holding a red board. They have done this for many years, and several of these faces are the same ones that were here whenever I showed 15 or 16, 17 years ago. So these guys, sometimes when they try to put a pig out of the ring and the pig don't want to go, it turns into quite the wrestling match, and it's quite entertaining. So we'll try to keep our eyes on any of the ring crew wrestling pigs, and if we get a good one, we'll try to get the camera over there as quick as we can. We appreciate these guys, and I think everybody in the ring would appreciate being able to go back and watch themselves wrestling a hog here this evening. So we'll try to make sure we get any of that on camera as well. As you can see here, we got Levi Lucky, Wyatt Boyce, and Cree Hill are the three that made it into the final three for the judge.
4-H shirt's going to go ahead and be our class winner. I think it's just stout dip. That's just a stout dip hog right there. One with plenty of top shape. One in terms of his center skeleton is still plenty pliable. I just think a good place to go ahead and start. The young man with the calico is going to go ahead and be second. I think in terms of just base width over the one that's going to go third, study those remaining two at the ground, and that one just gives you added base width coming and going. I still think that one shape up high is still good enough. The young lady that's going to go third, we really like that one from the side. When she gets that hog and drives it out, she gets that one's head up. Looks really good and complete from the side. When we get picky on that one, is when we study him coming and going, she just loses out on some base width to the ones ahead of her. Let's give those exhibitors a nice round of applause.
All right, so you heard there from Judge Carter Hall. He started the class with Levi Lucky and his 215-pound hog. He went to second place with Wyatt Boyce in his, he called it Calico Hog. It was definitely one that stood out as far as eye appeal. And then he finished the class with Cree Hill and her 215-pound hog. So we will see Wyatt Lucky here after a bit for the grand drive. We are now moving right along to class 3 of hogs. We have got several in this one. The first two classes were 4 and 5. This one we have 7 entries. So the exhibitors are Aniston Carruthers. She has a 230-pound hog. Dylan Hutchison will be also exhibiting a 230-pound hog. We have one hog weighing 235 pounds. That is exhibited by Liam March. The other hogs that are left in this class will all be of the 240 weight class. So Jacob Moore, Jesse Roberts, Mason Boyce, and Sam Williams. So far, Judge Carter here has looked for a top line, a wide top with heavy muscle, and it's important that the hog carry it all the way down through. Every one of his reasonings so far, he knows what the market is looking for. With us having an August fair, there's been several fairs before this, so everybody should not be surprised about kind of what the end goal for a hog is at this point. I know several of the exhibitors have gone to other fairs and have watched and tuned in to see where their projects need to be. So that's one good thing about us having a August fair, is there's plenty of examples before us to go watch and see and know if you're close to the mark. Like we said at starting out, every judge has their own opinion and they have their own set of what they're looking for. So far, it has been a very efficient night. We've been through 2 classes in 10 minutes. So if Carter keeps this up, we ought to be moving right along rather quickly. All the hogs have decided to go look at the people at the end of the ring here towards the stage. Luckily, the pageant is going on right now, so there's not a ton of background noise. I know tomorrow for the cattle show, we'll have bands going and different things going on, so it's a little bit harder to be able to hear and then communicate. So tonight is a lucky night. If you haven't made it out, the weather has turned. I know it had some rain showers there earlier, and it made it a little bit it cooled it off, really. We were out here for the rabbit show. We tried to get on air for the rabbit show, but we had some scheduling stuff that we had to work out. So now that we have this, we'll be on here tomorrow for the cattle show, the sheep show, the goat show. All animal exhibiting shows will be broadcast here on WVRC Wirt County. As you can see down in the bottom corner here, we're rolling ads of the different sponsors that have sponsored us last year. I know Andrew Miller, the owner of WVRC, has got some awesome sponsor packages. So if you're a business owner or you're somebody that would be interested in sponsoring for full seasons, I'm sure he would appreciate you reaching out to him. If that's something you'd like to do, you can just message the page, and I'm sure one of the guys that are an administrator on the page will get you in contact with him. But the advertisement and the sponsorship is great for these kids. I don't know how many times I've been able to see kids, and they're so excited to be able to go back and watch themselves, and being able to help the FFA and the 4-H with that as well. It's easy for people to go sit on Friday night lights and sit down and watch kids exhibit their animals, but a lot of the work with these animals that are in the ring right now happen at the house behind closed doors. Oftentimes you're able to tell the ones that have spent time with them and do a great job. It's not a easy project to take on, because what happens after show day is sale day, and after sale day the project then kind of goes away, and kids have to go back and clean out empty barn stalls. So it's not an easy thing what these young gentlemen and young ladies are doing out here. And you know, all of us, I'm sure, enjoy to eat, and if kids didn't do this type of things, it would be a lot harder for us to be able to enjoy the food that we take for granted sometimes. So these guys are just continuing to help Wirt County. The sale will be Friday. We'll try to mention it a couple times throughout today's broadcast. Come out Friday. I think the 5:30 is the buyer's dinner. Sale starts at 6:30. If you're able to come out and support these youth, they would appreciate it. For the hogs, I think most of them, they have to be born after January 1st. So the hogs they get usually around March, and they have them from March to August. So some of these pigs have been with these exhibitors for 3, 4 months now. As they it looks like Lucas has done a great job exhibiting his, but they went ahead and sent Lucas Pauls back to the pen, where we now have 5 hogs left, and if it sticks with the theme that Carter has had so far, we'll work our way down to 3, and then Carter will head for the microphone. Looks like Jesse Roberts has done an excellent job, but his pig has been sent back to the pen as well. So now we have Jake Moore, Dylan Hutchison, Sam Williams, and Mason Boyce left in the ring here. 4 young gentlemen that are representing the Wirt County FFA out here. Looks like we have one more maybe exiting the ring here. I believe that is Mason Boyce's hog. Mason did a great job there and did a really good job keeping eye contact with the judge and keeping the hog between him and the judge. But Mason has left the ring. So we are now with Sam Williams, Jacob Moore, and Dylan Hutchinson. As Judge Hall steps back here to kind of take one final gander, I guess, across all the hogs here to make a decision. Once he heads for the microphone, I will put the headset towards him. We'll listen to him. Those of you that are watching, let me know if you can hear him when he gives his reasons, or I can do my best to then tell you the reasons or what he liked about each hog. I can't tell exactly what I can't hear if it's coming through good enough for you guys to hear at home, so please let me know on that side of things. All 3 of them are trying to work their hog as close as they can to the judge to make sure that they get the best look at the hog that they can. Dylan's is heading the other direction, and I think he's like, well, the judge is the other way, but the pig has a mind of its own at this point and says it wants to head back to its pen. they wetted the show ring down really well here earlier, and there was a couple places that kind of puddled a little bit. So I know in the past the pigs would try to get to that spot and go ahead and just lay down where it's cool, it's hot. And
another nice challenging class.
well, we're going to tune in here for Carter and listen to his reasoning.
And we kind of talked it over with some discussion between me and my sister here, and we're going to go ahead and use a young man with a red whip to go ahead and win. I just think in terms of being so dense, so stout, so powerful, that's a short back, wide top one that I think logically needs to start. Is that one the prettiest fronted and the longest neck? No, it's not, but I can certainly get past that just in terms of the fact of how stout and dense that one is. The young man over here next to the backdrop is going to go next. I think one in terms of actual true muscle shape actually rivals the one that we go ahead and use to start. That one's good in terms of its body shape. That one's honestly a little prettier fronted. It's when we get these ones on the go, I maybe like to tie that one in a little neater in terms of his spine into his hip loin, and maybe strengthen him up there on his pasterns. The young man that's going to go third, another wide, big top one. We're just pushing some condition on that one. It's starting to get a little bit staler, but the young man's done a nice job with that one. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause.
All right, so as we get to the end of Class 3 here, we have got Sam Williams in first place. Hang on, we got a confusion here. Sam Williams was first place. Dylan Hutchison came in second, and third place was Jacob Moore. So that was the top 3 of that class. I think the key for you guys being able to hear that is me taking the headset off and just kind of reaching as far as I can to put it near the closest speaker back towards me, so I will continue to do that. All right, so now we are going into Class 4, which has 9 entries. This was a popular weight for the hogs. The first 2 hogs that are listed on the weight class sheet is Braxton Carpenter and Chloe Starcher. Both of their hogs will weigh in at 245 pounds. The next 5 hogs in the group are all weighing 250 pounds. That is Adeline Lowe, Alex Lott, Alex Murray, Aniston Carruthers, Bristol Dye. And then the last 2 entries for this weight class is 255 pounds, and that is Adeline Lowe and Remington Wilson. So Adeline Lowe has both of her hogs in the same class, so somebody else will be exhibiting one of her hogs here. So we'll do our best of that. Sometimes whenever you get to you raise animals, especially in the same farm, same pen, they oftentimes eat and grow the same way, so you end up with multiple in the same weight class. And used to the weight class, the target weight, like we said a long time ago, was around 260, but the market has kind of trended different directions, so we'll see exactly where the target weight is here at the end whenever Judge Carter lets us know during the final drive. So right here in front of us, Bristol Dye looks very annoyed at her pig at the moment. She has chased it in circles, and she gets close, and it takes off and runs the other way. Got Braxton Carpenter over there. He's doing a great job of getting his hog right here in front of the judge where he can take a good look at it. Right here in front of Judge Carter, you'll see Braxton. Adeline Lowe is working hers back towards the judge. Bristol's has passed the judge again and taken back to the other end of the ring. All the pigs have now joined the hog. All the hogs have gathered at the gate end of the barn, wanting to go back to where they can eat and have their water and cool off. One cool thing about the hogs is, you can see them get worked up here, and they don't sweat, so they have to go back and get underneath the fan and kind of cool off that way to help release some of the heat that they build up. I don't believe the judge has sent anybody out of this class yet. So with 9 entries, it's going to take him a little bit to work through all of them. Remington Wilson's right here in front of the camera trying to get his hog to go back closer to the judge. Bristol's hog is tired out enough for her to be able to catch up to it. So you see Bristol right here in front of us in the 4-H polo. I'm really impressed here with Braxton Carpenter being able to just kind of control his pig wherever he wants it to go. It seems to be going that direction. So, you know, you could be at the house and work with these things every single day, but if the crowd and all the noise and all the extra gets to them, they get a little bit rambunctious and away they go. So about had a pig fight over there. Dale Clark stepped in with his paddle, had to separate that for us. Appreciate that, Dale. We're trying to just make sure we get all the faces on camera. Some of the hogs, we are kind of blocked out right here in the middle third, so we got one end or the other that we can see the hogs. So we're just trying to make sure we get every kid some screen time here. Say this as well. It says a lot about our community. As I can see, we got 55 people, you know, watching us right now, tuning in. There's probably not a lot of entertainment in a hog show. It's just the fact that you have a tie to one of these kids, or that you're that you have a tie to the community. Maybe you were a showman once upon a time yourself, but to tune into a fair show, it shows a lot about what our county does, and that our county would support the kids no matter what they're doing. And it's one of the best parts about this community is that they always show support for the young people in the community. I also believe I heard earlier that there is a pie or a dessert auction at the conclusion of the hog show and the conclusion of the pageant. The Wirt FFA is going to do a auction for baked goods. So if you're not here now and you enjoy sweets, I would suggest you get in your vehicle and head this way before the conclusion, so you can partake in the auction and help support these kids, as well as get some good dessert. We have whittled the class of 9 down to 6. Well, no, we got a couple down there. I guess they haven't been eliminated yet. I believe we still have we got 8 still in the ring, so it appears Chloe Starcher has exhibited her pig and done a great job, but it looks like it's time for it to head back to the pen according to Judge Carter Hall. So we are now down to 7 exhibits left in the ring. They've all migrated towards the entertainment side of things. We're kind of blocked out that direction, but we'll try the best we can. Seems like once one pig goes one direction, it's kind of the boss of the ring, and all the other ones follow. So they've all congregated down there where we have limited vision. Looks like the whole ring crew, as well as every exhibitor and every hog, decided to get in a line here to come back the other direction, which is much appreciated. It's easier to see on this end. Looks like Alex Murray is done exhibiting his hog for this weight class, and his pig is headed back to the pen. We've got Braxton Carpenter and Bristol Dye down here in this corner, both trying to get The goal is to stay as close to the judge as you can. Make sure you can see a good eye of your hog. I know it used to be told to us whenever we would exhibit, if you were proud of your hog and you thought you had a chance, you'd get as close as you could. If you didn't think you had as good a chance, you stayed away from it as long as you can, and maybe you just stick around long enough to change your place in the sale order. So they've all joined on the Wirt County Youth Livestock end of the ring now. I believe we are now down to 4 exhibits left in the ring. We have Adeline Lowe, Bristol Dye, Braxton Carpenter, and can't see. That is Grant Boyce, but he is showing a hog for somebody else because his name's not on this class list. So I'm going to guess Grant might be showing Adeline's second hog if I had to guess. So until somebody tells me I'm wrong or I can see an ear tag, that's what we're going to go with. I can't tell Adeline's ear tag on this side, so we'll have to we'll just go with that theory. All right, the hog Grant is exhibiting is exiting the ring, so we are now left with Bristol Dye, Adeline Lowe, and Braxton Carpenter left in the ring. So we know the top 3. It's what order will they place in. As far as the placing goes, so on sale day, Grand and Reserve will sell first for the pigs, and then it goes first in class all the way from the lowest weight class to the highest weight class. Then it goes to second place, lowest weight class to the highest weight class, and so on and so forth. If the hog in your weight division was grand champion, then the second place slides into the first place, and so on and so forth, and it just kind of takes over from there. But each position just changes your sale order. We were very grateful last year. Our sale didn't really show any dips. It was kind of the same all the way through, thanks to our great buyers. So we encourage all buyers to come back this year and make it a successful sale for these young men and young women to get a good reward for their project and the time that they have put in.
Another super nice,
all right, here's Carter.
Class of market hogs here. We're going to go ahead and use the young man here in front of me to go ahead and win. One in terms of just muscle shape, stoutness, and freshness. I think that one's just the most complete out of the ones we've seen in this class. I like that one's shape out of the top side of its spine. I think just a nice, good place to go ahead and start. And young man, if I could give you one showmanship tip advice, don't press down on that one's back when you get down on the go. Maybe just makes her get down in her hip a little bit better, or worse. But you've certainly done a nice job with that one. The young lady here with the big wide belted one, the one over here is going to go ahead and be second. I think in terms of that one's a short back wide top one that still has plenty of muscle shape back through that lower stifle muscle one. But when you get them out on the go, maybe loosen that one up in terms of its hip joint there, and maybe giving that one some more flex off its rear legs. The young lady's going to go third. Love that one's top shape. I love that one's center body skeleton shape. For that one, we just get too close up at the ground. Let's give these exhibitors a nice round of applause.
All right, so class 4, we have got Braxton Carpenter first. Second place, Bristol Dye. Third is Adeline Lowe. And we were correct. Grant Boyce was exhibiting Adeline's hog, who got fourth. So first place in that class was Braxton Carpenter. Second place, Bristol Dye. Third and fourth were both Adeline Lowe. So we are now moving right along into class 5. This is the weight class of 260 to 265 pounds. There's 7 entries. All of them but one are 260 pounds. Those are going to be exhibited by Jackson Exline, Kenzie Carruthers, Colton Collins, Kylie Blair, Luke Hardbarger, and Parker Dye. And at 265, we will have Trapper Boyce. So those are the exhibitors for this weight class. Looks like Kinsey Carruthers is making her way down through the ring, and it looks like Jackson Exline was the first one in the ring. He was ready to go. So what in the hog? You know, I told you earlier, the sawdust makes it a difference between a sports field and a barn. I can tell you that with these feeder steers and these replacement heifers sitting right behind us, whenever they decide to drop a nice pile of manure in the barn, I can tell you it definitely changes the smell of the atmosphere real quick too. So there's a lot of things that a press box can bring, but cow manure isn't one of them. Kylie Blair has made her way in with her hog weighing 260 pounds. That is Luke Harbarger entering in. So now we have got 5 of the 7. We're still missing 2. Oh, Trapper Boyce is now on scene. Are we still missing 1? Yeah, here comes the last one, Parker Dye. One thing I'll tell you about Miss Parker is she works with these animals. I bet that pig's as tame as a lap dog, if I had to guess. But all 7 entries have now made it into the ring. This class offers a good bit of differences as far as collar patterns. I know we've got everywhere from the simple Hampshire looking belted pattern to looks like maybe some Berkshire in a couple of them. One thing you'll notice as we get into the heavier weight classes, the hogs are less likely to take off and run back and forth. I haven't had any hogs lately start sprinting from one end to the other. These hogs are a little bit more conservative with their energy, I guess is the best way to say it. We will have a total of 8 classes of hogs here this evening, and then we'll come back for final drive. So we have worked our way to the halfway point of the hog show for tonight, and then we will go into showmanship where the students or whether the exhibitors will come back out and show that they can keep the hog between them, keep eye contact with the judge, show that they're happy to be in the ring with a smile the whole time. So all those things will come out in showmanship. Right now, it is nothing more than just a market show at this point, just trying to figure out which one will bring the best quality meat-wise to the table, so to say. Obviously, it is a benefit if you're able to keep your hog close to the judge where he can get a good look and a good assessment of your exhibit. So we've got a couple hogs here exiting. Kinsey Carruthers did a great job exhibiting her hog, but Judge Carter Hall has sent it ahead back to the pen, as well as Tyler Harbarger's. Or sorry, I called him his brother's name. That is Luke Harbarger. He did a great job exhibiting his hog as well, but it went ahead and been selected to go back to the pen. So we started with 7 in this class. We are now down to, I believe, 5. This is one of those weight classes that is usually almost always the most competitive. Everybody tries to strive for that 260 number, and everybody strives for that number. Usually you get a lot of really high quality hogs in the same class. All right, as you can see here on screen, Judge Carter is talking to Colton Collins here. Went ahead and sent his pig back to the pen, but was explaining to him what he can do for next year. And that's a lot of this. I mean, a lot of people get caught up in the ribbons and all and winning, and that's important. But at the same time, it's how can you I'm glad to see a judge take some time and explain to them what he's looking for, how they could have made the exhibit a little bit better. You know, there's so many things that goes into these hogs, feeding them, researching what they need, how to get them to hit the right weight at the right time. It's really quite a process. So it's good to see Judge Hall out here doing a good job explaining to the youth here of what to do better. With that, we are now down to, I believe, 4 exhibitors. So we are one more hog being sent to the pen away from Judge Hall grabbing the microphone. But the last one heading to the pen was Jackson X-Line. So Jackson did a great job exhibiting his hog out here, but it looks like he will be finishing 5th in this class. Right, we are now down. They eliminate another one. Are we down to 3? I can't see. I believe we're down to 3 hogs left in the ring.
Another nice class of market hogs.
Here is Judge Carter Hall.
Go ahead and use the young lady with the calico to go ahead and win. That was just the most complete. Step off to the side of that one. That one's still fresh and youthful, and in the shape to this. That one's skull. That one's the short back, wide top one was still probably the most muscle shape over that one spine that we've seen out of any pig all day. Like that one in terms of how wide and opened up he is in terms of his chest floor. Like that one as you get that one going away. That one's structure still stays good as we get up into these heavier weighted hogs. That's a nice place to start with that young lady. The next young lady here is going to go in second. Another one I think in terms of freshness of the remaining 2. I like that one, how fresh and complete that one is in terms of its jawline. One that still has plenty of shape up high. But for us, when you get that one on the go away from you, starting just to bow out on the rear, on that one's rear 2 legs ever so slightly. The young man that's going to go third, another stout, dense, wide topped one. I just think we're pushing a bit more condition on that one. And I'd like to see that one a little bit more comfortable off its rear 2 when you ask him to get out and go. But another nice class of market hogs. Let's give all these exhibitors a nice round of applause.
All right, Class 5. We had Parker Dye at first, Kylie Blair second. Third was Trapper Boyce. So first, Parker Dye, second, Kylie Blair, third, Trapper Boyce. So as you heard there with the judge, it was kind of a new reason for his class placement. As you get up into the heavier weights of the hogs, you're going to run into just a little bit more of a struggle on their legs. So as they get heavier weighted, you want to be able to make sure that the legs are under them and they're able to move and get out and go. So we heard in that class, Judge Carter Hall brought that into the realm of wanting to make sure that they stay good as they get it heavier in the weight class, make sure they're not over-finished, over-conditioned, and that they're able to get out and go. So here we are. We are now going into Class 6. We have got Bentley Parsons with his hog weighing 270 pounds. Jasmine White and Ruby Murray both are showing hogs weighing 270 pounds. And then the next 4 are all 275. That is Ryland Dye, Skylar Hutchinson, Wyatt Lucky, and Wyatt Boyce. So we have got hogs from 270 to 275 pounds. So we're still kind of right there in that wheelhouse weight range where there's going to be a lot of entries. So we got 7 entries in this class, and we have got 4 of them in the ring. We got Wyatt Boyce in the ring, Skylar Hutchinson in the ring, Wyatt Lucky and Bentley Parsons have all made their way into the ring as we wait on the others to join them. We'll try to pick them up as they come out of the back part of the barn. If we hear from any of the pageant winners, if we hear of anybody who's won those, we will broadcast those as well and pass that along to you. If we hear any of the new royalty for next year's fair, we will pass that along. I know Cameron Carpenter was last year's queen, so she'll be passing along her crown tonight to the 2026 Fair Queen. So once we hear that, we'll pass that along. Jasmine White has, well, there was 4 hogs right there together. Jasmine White, Skylar Hutchinson, Wyatt Boyce, and Wyatt Lucky's, all their hogs decided to come together right there. We now are just waiting on, we're waiting on one more hog, I believe. No, we got all 7. We got all 7. One of them was hiding. So Ruby Murray's right here walking through in the FFA polo. Wyatt Boyce is showing his pig over there in the blue FFA polo over by the sign. Wyatt Lucky has got his pig moving towards the judge here. They've all kind of gathered together. This is a class where the last one there was a lot of different exotic looks. There was a lot of different personality as far as color to the hogs. This one seems like all the hogs follow the same color pattern. It's going to be sometimes different hogs, they'll catch your eye, the eye appeal. As soon as they walk in the ring, they'll stick in your mind. But I don't know that Judge Carter Hall can do that with this class. Take a second here. I know I mentioned them early on, but the ring crew, appreciate them coming in and working these hogs for these exhibitors, making sure that they don't get into fights, and they keep the show moving and getting the ones that the judge wants removed from the ring, getting them out of the ring, and doing it in an efficient fashion. Ryland Dye's hog tried to go to the other end, and she hustled to cut it off and get her headed back to the right direction towards the judge. Looks like the judge was taking some time there to discuss with Skylar Hutchinson about his exhibit, and went ahead and sent his hog to the pen. So we are now down to 6 hogs left in the ring, working our way through. Looks like we have another hog exiting the stage here, or exiting the show ring. Ruby Murray has done a great job exhibiting her hog, but they went ahead and sent it to its pen. So now we are down to 5. What started out as 7 is we're now down to 5. As you can see here, well, the pole's kind of in the way, but Judge Carter's over there talking to Jasmine White about her hog. Jasmine took what the judge had told her, and we'll put that to next year's project, and now we are left with 4. So we are left with Wyatt Boyce, Wyatt Lucky, Ryland Dye, and Braxton Carpenter. This is when it's getting tough. You got 4 hogs, and all these exhibitors have done a great job. It's just now, as you can see, Judge Hall spun a couple times here and looked around, and he's going to get nitpicky here to separate the top 4 to see which way he's wanting to go. All right, as you can see in the corner of the screen there, Judge Hall is talking to Wyatt Boyce, letting him know about what he can do and what he's seen with his hog. And Wyatt's pig has been sent back to the pen, so Wyatt will be 4th in the class here. So we've got 3 hogs left. We've got Braxton Carpenter, Ryland Dye, and Wyatt Lucky. Two of these hogs that are left, or all 3 of these hogs that are left, weigh 275 pounds. Oh, that's Bentley. My camera partner has told me that I called one of the, I misspoke, but that is Bentley Parsons, Wyatt Lucky, and Ryland Dye in the ring. Classes, it's decisions like these that I think the judge would be happy trading places with somebody else. Spending a lot of time looking at these 3, and there's not a whole lot of differences amongst them. So we'll see which way we go here. There's a really good turnout here in the crowd supporting these exhibitors. Well, we had a piggy takedown there. We had one pig decide to take down the other one, so Bentley Parsons' hog decided to try to take a piggyback ride on Wyatt Lucky's hog, and it was quickly rejected by the ring hands.
Another nice class of market hogs, and the young man here with the blue whip is going to go ahead and be the class winner for us. I think just in terms of just being the most complete, that one we find to go ahead and win. You know, is that one the heaviest muscle? No, it's not, but I think that one carries its muscle shape up high the best. And I think that one, in terms of its center skeleton and rib cage, I think certainly has enough. The young man right here, and with the 4-8 shirt in front of me, is going to go second. One is certainly, we like that one shape up high. I just think in terms of body shape and just condition and freshness, we just started to fall out of bed a little bit. And this one just started to get a little bit older, a little staler. Maybe see that one a little bit more comfortable off of both ends when we get them out on the go. The young lady with the solid black hog that's going to go third. One that we certainly like that one shape up high, studying from the side, and that one's certainly very complete on the drive. I just think we're just losing some added shape through that one's rib cage, and so maybe give that one some added base width to compete with the ones ahead of them. But let's give these exhibitors a nice round of applause.
All right, so as we run that class down, Wyatt Lucky was first in that class. Bentley Parsons came in second, and third was Ryland Dye, and then fourth was Wyatt Boyce. So that was another class where you there was a third place there with Ryland Dye. Her hog looked the part, but it was a little bit leaner than the other ones, and that I think is what dropped it down. But the top 2 hogs in that class, it took a lot of a lot of decision time there for Judge Carter Hall to make that decision. So it's always good to be in that situation and to have the judge deliberate back and forth with his the person that's working the ring with him and be able to come to a conclusion eventually. So now we are moving into Class 7. That class ranges from 280 pounds to 290 pounds. Exhibiting hogs that weigh 280 pounds is Mason Boyce and Skylar Hutchinson. The hogs that weigh 285 is Carson Lucky and Sam Williams. And Trapper Boyce will be exhibiting a hog that weighs 290 pounds. So in the ring here, you can see Skylar Hutchinson walking through, as well as the first hog in the ring was Mason Boyce. We're trying to get Mason on camera. There he is. All right, and then Carson Lucky's hog has just ran in, and Carson is trying to catch up to it. Carson's hog has got different intentions. It's running. We got hogs running on the screen. For a class of hogs between 280 and 290, these guys come in a little bit rambunctious. Here's another one coming in running hot. Trapper Boy said, "Come back." He had to chase her down here. So for a heavier weight of hogs, these hogs are wanting to get out and run a little bit. So it'll be good for the judge to be able to see them on the move here pretty quickly. So in this class, we have 5 entries. So whenever we start sending hogs to their pens, it'll be a pretty quick mic grab for the judge in this class. A quick Wirt County update. I know at the beginning of this past week, the volleyball team, cross-country team, and the football team all started their fall seasons. Seasons officially kicked off and got underway. I know with flex days and different things, a lot of the athletes have been with their teams for some time, but the first day officially that we can start working towards the first competition of the season was this past Monday, and we are looking forward to being able to bring you all the live action of Wirt County sports on WBRC Wirt County as we move through this year. But in the meantime, we will continue to inhale sawdust and call a pig show. Oh, we got a pig escaping the ring crew. This could be our first pig wrestle of the night for the ring crew. They're trying to get. Whose hog is that? Oh, we got Steven Settle here running the hog into the wall, but it still got by him. Mason Boyce's hog has been sent to the pen, so Mason did a great job exhibiting his hog, but it is now headed back towards the pen. We have Trapper Boyce, Carson Lucky, and Sam Williams is the final 3 pigs in this class. Dylan Hutchinson Mason Boyce and Skylar Hutchinson have been sent to their pens in this class. So we are now down to the top 3, and that is Trapper Boyce, Sam Williams, and Carson Lucky. All right, it looks like we have got this hog headed the right direction. It's taken 3 of our show crew. Oh, well, we're about to lose the wrong hog. Sam Williams' hog said, "I want to go to my pen," and the other one did not want to go to his. So now we have the final 3 in the ring, and the judge has grabbed the microphone, so we will take the headset and pass it along to him. He's going to take a few more seconds here. This is the 280 to the 290 class, Class 7. We will have Class 8 following, and then we will do final drive and bring all the class winners back into the ring. So the show has moved very efficiently.
Market hogs, and the young man here standing in front of me is going to go ahead and win this class. And he had won in a few classes before, and you can definitely tell that young man's put the work in at home, getting these pigs to drive out here and work for him. But in terms of the pig, you know, that one's the stoutest, most complete one. Like that one's base width, that one's shape up high. I really like that one in terms of how that one drapes his muscle shape down the top side of his spine. And still so fresh and complete as you study him up through his head and neck. I just think a nice place to go ahead and start. The young man in the corner here with the blue-butted appearing gilt here is going to go next. Another one, super wide top one that I still think has plenty of center body shape. Just for us, I think that one just in terms of just getting a bit staler, a little coarser in that one's skull shape, but certainly a nice one for the young man. The young man with the like the belted hog over here, one that I think that's just going to go third. One that I think in terms of top shape, a big wide top one, plenty of body shape. We're just pushing a little too much condition on that one, and maybe give that one some more width at the ground. But certainly a nice hog for the young man. Let's give these exhibitors another round of applause.
All right, in Class 7, we had
second, Carson Lucky, third, Trapper Boys, fourth, Mason Boys.
So we had Sam Williams lead that class. Second was Trapper Boyce. Third was Carson Lucky. And then Mason Boyce was fourth, and Skylar Hutchison rounded out the class. So that was Class 7. Now we're moving on to what they would like to call the heavyweight class. These hogs stretch from 295 pounds to 310 pounds. So we've got the heavyweights of the barn are now entering the ring. Dakota Whipke, her hog will be weighing 295. Luke Harbarger's hog weighs 295. We will have 4 hogs exhibited at 300 pounds. That is Grant Boyce, Paige Lucky, Remington Harvey, Peyton Dye, and then Harley Boyce will be exhibiting a hog that weighs 310 pounds. So at the conclusion of this class, we will then leave the classes and we will go to final drive. So right now we have got 3 hogs in the ring. We have got Dakota Whipke. She is exhibiting her hog here in front of us in the blue polo. You have got Harley Boyce exhibiting her hog here in the blue polo. Grant Boyce has just entered the ring, as well as Peyton Dye. We are waiting on, I believe, one more hog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we're waiting on 2 more. We've got 6, and I believe we're supposed to have 7. Ignore the 6, 7 there, but we're gaining on it. We're missing 1 hog, I believe. Here it comes. All right, so the exhibitors in this ring for this class is Dakota Whipke, Luke Harbarger, Grant Boyce, Paige Lucky, Remington Harvey, Peyton Dye, and Harley Boyce. Hogs ranging from 295 to 310. Peyton Dye is walking his right in front of the judge, making sure the judge takes a good look at that hog. These hogs are doing a really good job of just walking from one end to the other end without getting too carried away. And as soon as I say that, one takes off bouncing. All the hogs have now gathered back up here in a tight formation, heading back towards the gates, wanting to head back to their pen. All right, we got Judge Hall talking to Luke Hardbarger about his exhibit. So it looks like it's great to see Mr. Hardbarger, Luke, reach out there and shake the judge's hand and thank him for the advice. It's an encouraging thing to see. So we are now down to 6 in the ring. Judge Hall has worked over now towards Dakota Whipke and is discussing her exhibit. So I believe he is telling her great job on the exhibit and then giving her some advice. So it looks like Dakota will be 6th place in this class. So now we're down to 5. A couple more before Mr. Hall will grab the microphone. Mr. Hall here is working his way over towards Paige Lucky here, discussing the exhibit. So now we will be down to 4 hogs left in the ring. It looks like Paige will be getting 5th with her exhibit and is taking advice here from Mr. Hall. Mr. Hall has worked his way to Grant Boyce and is having a conversation with Grant about his hog. So Grant will take 4th place out of this class. So the 3 hogs you've got left is being exhibited by Peyton Dye, whose hog weighs 300 pounds. You have got Harley Boyce, whose hog weighs 310 pounds. And you have got Remington Harvey, whose hog weighs 300 pounds. So here we are at the heaviest of the heavies here in the Wirt County Fair as far as the hog show goes. All the hogs say, here we are, look at us. I mean, all 3 of them have gathered right at the feet of Judge Hall, so he couldn't got a better look if he wanted to. Here are 3 hogs at very different characteristics. All really quality hogs, but just as you look at them, you can pick defining characteristics of each 3. So look, all 3, I'm telling you, these pigs are making it easier on the judge, coming right to him, letting him look at them good. And I believe the judge here is looking at Remington Harvey's hog and talking about that front leg just isn't cooperating quite as well. So we'll see what the final.
Another nice class of market hog. hogs. And the young man here in front of me with the belted gilt here is going to go ahead and win. And we think that's pretty easily for us in terms of being in this heavyweight class, still maintaining that freshness and just the most complete when you get off to the side. And yet when that one's coming right at us, in terms of that one's chest floor base width and boldness of blade, that one just does it the best for us. I think just a nice place to go ahead and start. The young man with the solid black hog over here, another one, like that one's muscle shape up high, like that one's rib cage shape, that one's super stout in terms of that one's skull shape, but the longer we get him out here, that one's wanting to break down a little bit off those rear two, and maybe just freshen that one up in terms of that one's condition through his jawline. Then the Duroc that's going to go next, super sound, super athletic one off of both ends of her skeleton, one that's super good in terms of its top shape, just maybe loses some muscle shape down to that lower stifle to the ones ahead of it. But let's give those exhibitors a nice round of applause.
That class will be Peyton Dye, first place, second place Remington Harvey, third place Harley Boyce. So we will now be bringing in the class winners from each class, and as a amateur hog show caller, I did not write those down, so I will bring them to you as we kind of come, as they come in the ring. I'll be able to tell you each hog and the exhibitor. So that is what we are going to do here. As you heard, just as we got to those bigger weight classes, the judge continued to talk about being able to get out on their feet. You know, that class right there, first and second, was kind of separated because the first place hog was able to stay fresh and was able to walk around. Even at the weight that it was, 300 pounds, it did a good job being able to stay mobile and stay athletic on its legs, whereas the second place hog, as you heard Judge Hall talk about, that it was starting to kind of break down, was his term, and but to kind of break that down even farther is he just wasn't as fresh on his legs. He wasn't as athletic. He was starting to kind of hobble a little bit. So as the show goes on, it's harder on the heavy hogs as far as carrying the weight, I guess, and we'll see what happens here in the final drive. We have a comment coming in here from Facebook that says the fair princess is Lila Bumgarner. So congratulations there. We appreciate any updates that we can get on any of that stuff going on. It's not that far for us to go from here to the pavilion, but sometimes it takes a while for news to travel. All right, here we are with the final drive for the hogs. In the ring, we've got Sam Williams. Now, Sam Williams, I do believe, has 2 hogs in this ring, so somebody is going to be exhibiting one for him. So we'll figure out who that is here very shortly. You've got Riley Hall, you got Braxton Carpenter, Peyton Dye, Harley Williams just walked in, so I'm going to guess that's probably Sam's second hog. All right, we have got Levi Lucky walking in with his hog now. So we should have 8 hogs entering the ring, and we're missing one more hog, I believe. Once we get one more in here, we'll be good to go. There it is, Parker Dye and her puppy dog pig. That thing is as tame as a hog as I've seen. You know, we talked about earlier, you got people who I know calling football games. Those football players are in the weight room. They are in practice. They're in all these things for hours upon hours upon hours. Volleyball, you got club volleyball, you got high school volleyball, you got all the different volleyballs, basketball, travel ball, AAU, high school basketball, baseball, Legion ball, all the different things, travel softball. you've got a lot of athletes that go out and spend a ton of time and put a lot of hours into their craft. There are some exhibitors that treat showing just like a sport. Like, this is their passion. And whenever you get to that, you can tell these kids pour a lot of time into it, a lot of effort. And it doesn't go unnoticed, you know. I mean, I tell my daughters, I tell my oldest daughter who's started playing sports that there's going to be a day where we take off our jersey for the last time, we take off our cleats, our tennis shoes, or whatever it is, we'll take it off for the last time. You know, exhibiting animals and farming, that's something that can go a lifetime and can continue to be passed down from generation to generation. So all the effort that we give shout outs to on Friday nights, and we like to stand up and cheer and the volleyball court, the basketball court, softball diamond, all the different sports. I don't want to leave anybody out, but it takes hours to be good at that. These animals and these exhibitors have done that, and they work together, and that's ultimately what it's about. It's not about the banner at the end of the day. It's how to grow and raise a quality animal, and these exhibitors have gotten a good grasp of that, and this final drive shows a great representation of it. Sometimes you have a really good animal and a really good exhibit that you spend a lot of time with, but you get put in a class where somebody else does the same thing. So it's just like every other competition. There is competition to it, but as long as they keep the mindset that they're taking what they get through their exhibit and putting it towards life skills, just like any other thing that young people do, take the life lessons out of it, and along the way learn how to put a quality animal and send it to the slaughter and allow it to be a quality meat product for the buyer, and that's what this is all about, is to help them learn how to handle an exhibit, commitment, time. I mean, waking up early to feed the animals, it takes a lot, and then at some point they will receive a nice check for these animals, but Judge Hall is ready to announce the grand champion, so we're going to join him.
Not making our job easy. There is lots of really nice hogs out here that were all class winners in their respective classes. I just want to thank everybody for having me out this evening. This Market Hog Show has been fun. Thank you for allowing my sister to come with me to help sort this, and she's still trying to learn a new species for her, as she's getting ready to compete at the National FFA Convention in the livestock judging contest. I'm not going to say any much more. I'll let her say a few words, and then we'll go show you the ones we like.
Hi everybody, just a little bit more of an introduction on myself. You guys are more used to Carter being here than me. I'm Carter's little sister. My name is Beth Holland, as you said. I'm getting ready to compete at the national competition, the National FFA competition for livestock judging here in October. And it's super exciting getting to be his shadow. You know, everything that he's learned over the years being at college and being on livestock judging teams. And it's really nice just getting to shadow and getting to learn, which I encourage everybody out here to do. Any opportunity you can get just to go out there and learn, take it, because there's always something out there that you can use to better yourself, better your animal. And I appreciate everybody out here being patient with us today as he's taught me and as he's taught your kids a little bit more about their animal.
Yeah, if you could put your hands together one more time for these kids here in the final drive. We'll go show you which ones we like. This has been a super fun show to sort. I want to commend all these exhibitors. When we pick these champions, let's give them another big round of applause.
All right, so what we will see here on camera is we're going to keep a close eye on Judge Hall, because what will happen is Judge Hall is going to walk out and shake the hand of the exhibitor of the grand champion market hog here this evening. So as Judge Hall is kind of working his way away from us, he's here behind this pole where we can't see very well at the moment, but he's coming around to the middle of the ring. Whichever direction he breaks and the hand that he shakes, that's the place where we're going to go to find the grand champion. And Parker Dye is receiving that grand champion handshake. That is a young lady that I was talking about. People treat this as a sport. Parker Dye, I've been able to watch in the barn for a couple years. My younger brother shows, and Parker Dye is one that will spend a ton of time with her animal and talking to her at school. She talks about her animals a lot, and this is something that she truly has a passion for. So that is a big congratulations to her. So now what will happen is whoever got second in Parker's class will now then come into the final drive. Judge Hall will then look over everybody again, and then he will shake the hand of the reserve grand champion. It is a huge accomplishment to just be in the final drive. You know, there's 8 classes of hogs here. I don't know the total number of hogs real quick. I'd have to do the math. But, you know, to be one of the final 8 or 9 hogs in the barn, to be here in the final drive is a huge accomplishment. So congratulations to Parker Dye, your 2026 Grand Champion Market Hog exhibitor. And we have shaken the hand here of Sam Williams to be your reserve Grand Champion. So you have got Parker Dye as Grand Champion, and Sam Williams has received reserve Grand Champions. So congratulations to Sam Williams on exhibiting the reserve Grand Champion Market Hog. We appreciate you being with us through the market part of this show. What we will have coming up here very shortly is we will have the showmanship. So where the judge was judging the hog, that was his sole purpose during the market portion of this. Now when we come back, the judge is going to be watching the exhibitor and judging how well the exhibitors show their animal. So we're going to take, it's not a true commercial break, we're just going to put the headset down for a few seconds. We'll continue to roll footage of the ring, and as classes come in, we will introduce them. But we want to take one more second here and congratulate Parker Dye on Grand Champion and Sam Williams on Reserve Grand Champion. And we will be right back as soon as the first level of showmanship enters the ring. All right, so we are now back, and what we are going to do, and I think it is a great idea that FFA advisor Elizabeth Adams and extension agent here has agreed to do, is send out the senior showmen first. So what we will do is have the senior showmen, which means the ones that have done this the longest, the ones that have a really good idea of what's going on, they will come into the ring first. And the judge will then go through his reasonings on who is the grand champion showman and all the things. So as they go through that, that allows the intermediate and the beginners to watch and listen to what the judge is looking for. And as they go through, the younger ones can have an idea by the time they ever get in the ring, which is a really cool thing. So here to start, it looks like we have got Holden Sears, Ruby Murray, Riley Hall, Dylan Hutchinson.
As a reminder, at the end of hog showmanship, the FFA will be holding their pie and baked good auction here in the ring. So make sure
Trying
you
to see who else is still back there.
17 or 20 only baked goods to be auctioned off.
We have got Liam March.
Senior Championship Heat 1 is Holden Sears, Alex Lott, Riley Hall, Liam
Alex
March,
Lott has entered the ring.
Wyatt Boyce, and Dylan Hutchinson.
Looks like we are still waiting on Wyatt Boyce and his hog. There is Peyton Dye and his hog, and Riley Hall's hog decided to go back to the pen. He said, I'm done with that ring. And went back to where he could go lay down underneath the fan. Peyton Dye said the same thing. His hog says, I'm going back to where it came from. So what they have done is they have divided the senior showmanship in half. So we have half the senior showmen in this class, and then we'll have another class of senior showmen. So in the first class of senior showmen, we'll see who we're still missing, if anybody in this group. All right, it looks like we should have. Okay, so they have broken this up a little bit. We are going off of a list that was given to us, but it looks like they're going to roll with the ones in the ring right now. As you can see, we talked earlier about the fire department wetting down the ring. This, can't tell who it is. Holden Sears' hog has decided he found a spot where they left a puddle of water, and he's trying to root out to get to lay down in it. So right now, the key is to keep your animal close to the judge, as close as you can, and then keep your body out of the way of the line of sight of the judge to your animal. So you want to make sure you're on the opposite side of the judge at all times. Try to maintain eye contact with the judge. We had a little bit of excitement here with a couple hogs. Derek Egbert was quick to step in the middle. While we're breaking down the showmanship class, we'll take a second here and we will thank Andrew Miller for being able to allow us to do this contract with WVRC to be able to bring you all of Wirt County's events, not just athletics, but any event that will help showcase the youth of our county. So we thank Andrew and all that WVRC does for our county. It looks like Carter has handed the microphone to his sister to do showmanship.
But I think for the final drive, we're going to keep this young man right here with the red ribbon hanging off of his pants. And also this girl back here, this blonde girl in the bun. Just some things that we're looking for with control.
So they're going to keep two out of this group to bring back for the final drive of showmanship.
And you and your animal. But super good first class. We're excited to see what else we have.
Okay, so Dylan Hutchinson and Riley Hall was told to stay in the ring with their hogs because they are going to come back out for final drive for showmanship. All right, we got another group of senior showmanship now entering the ring. We've got Peyton Dye. That hog will be happy whenever this is said and done. He can lay down with his fan on him. Up next, we've got Jacob Moore. Coming into the ring now, we've got Sam Williams. Jake Moore's pig decided to try to take a bite out of Carter Hall's blue jeans. We've now got Alex Murray in the ring with his hog feeling a little bit frisky, running around. Colton Collins has now entered the ring with his hog. Kylie Blair has entered the ring for showmanship. I believe that is the last hog for this class. All the hogs have kind of made a line here, or made a group down here by the banner. Makes it easy on the camera work.
Entering for senior showmanship heat 2 is Jake Moore, Sam Williams, Alex Murray, Colton Collins, Kylie Blair.
All right, we'll see how this class breaks down.
And Peyton Dye.
As the judges work across to make sure that the exhibitor switches sides to make sure that the hog stays between them and the exhibitor, or between them and the judge. That way there's no obstruction of line of sight. I'm not sure which one of us will be here tomorrow for the lamb and goat show as well as the cattle show, but we will have somebody coming to you live for that as well. But we'll listen to.
We're going to go ahead and keep this young man right here with Red Whip to come back for the final drive. We're also going to keep the young man over here along the rail. We know that hog's getting tired, but you know, he's staying composed, because sometimes your dancing partner doesn't always want to dance with you, and that young man's doing a good job of just staying composed and working with his partner there. Those two showmen do an exceptional job of getting those ones shown, controlling those hogs. It will be nice to see those two out here in the final drive. Let's give all these exhibitors a nice round of applause.
Returning to the final drive.
All right, we got the final drive of Heat 1 and Heat 2. We've got Peyton Dye and Sam Williams coming back for the final drive of senior showmanship. They will be joined by Riley Hall and Dylan Hutchinson. All right, this looks like Class 3. This is Ryland Dye. We've got Mason Boyce. Both have entered the show ring. Skylar Hutchison has entered the show ring. So it looks like we're going to have 3 heats of senior showmen. All the action seems to be at the gate here as Justin Boyce went on a little bit of a ride as Skylar Hutchison's hog had picked him up off the ground for a quick second. We have got Carson Lucky entering the show ring. Trapper Boyce has entered the show ring here. As the evening goes on, these hogs have been out of their pen and they've been worked with for quite some time. So I don't know if you guys heard during his reasoning, but Judge Hall just mentioned that sometimes your dancing partner don't want to dance was the way that he worded it. Some of these hogs are getting pretty tired, and it's taken the best that these exhibitors have to keep calm and keep working their animals. Dakota Whipke has entered the show ring, and Paige Lucky has entered the show ring with their exhibits. Ryland's Dye's pig has finally decided to cooperate with her and get off of that gate and make her way down through the show ring. So now we kind of have got all the hogs down by the judge. So at the end of this heat, we will then bring in the 2 exhibitors from each of the first 2 heats to come back out and compete for Grand and Reserve showmen. So we got Trapper Boyce right here is taking his hog right in front of the judges, almost letting it walk on his toes, bringing kind of a chuckle out of Judge Hall. As you can tell, the judges relocate around the ring to see which hogs will cooperate and get to the same quadrant of the ring as them and get down there where they can be seen. Try to keep the camera here on the judges the best that we can. Whenever they go down there in that corner, it's hard for us to be able to see them.
Our last class of senior showmanship here, and this one definitely gives you a little bit more of a tougher challenge. But we're going to keep this young lady here with the dark collared Duroc, and we're also going to keep this young man with the lighter collared Duroc to come back for the final drive.
All right, so this heat is won by a pair of Boyces. Harley Boyce and Grant Boyce both will remain in the ring for the final drive of showmanship. They will be joined by Dylan Hutchison and Riley Hall, Sam Williams, and Peyton Dye. As they try to get all of these hogs to funnel into the gate to head back to their pens. You know, we see several in the ring as far as ring crew, but there are several volunteers back behind the gate that will absolutely deserve a huge thank you for working those gates back there, getting the animals back to their pens. And it takes a village to run one of these, and I'm thankful. I'm sure as all the youth is, for all the volunteers to step up and allow the youth to be able to have as good a hog show as we have here. It runs really smooth, and it couldn't happen without all the volunteers.
Final drive is Riley Hall, Dylan Hutchinson, Sam Williams.
All right, so as far as the final drive, we have got Peyton Dye in the ring, Grant Boyce in the ring, Harley Boyce in the ring, Riley Hall in the ring, and we're waiting on Dylan and we're waiting on Sam Williams. We're waiting on Dylan Hutchison and Sam Williams, and we'll be ready to go with the final drive for showmanship of the hogs. Peyton Dye's hog has gotten to the point where it's become vocal. It's beyond frustrated. He's become vocal. He's out there telling Peyton that it's time to go back to the fan, and Peyton's working his tail off to try to keep him content and keep him down in front of the judge. But that pig knows its way back home, or back to its fan anyway. If you couldn't hear on from show side here, FFA advisor Elizabeth Adams just came across, and they're the showmanship award winner for the hogs. The award is in memory of Scott Hess. I remember being an exhibitor here back in the day, and
you never knew what Scott would. You never seen Scott without a smile on his face. He didn't care if he knew you, if he didn't know you, but he would make you feel welcome no matter what. And he was really good to a lot of people inside this barn, and he always had his grill / smoker going to feed you, and he was just a really friendly face to see here at the fair. And so it's a really nice award to win this showmanship award in his memory, and it's something that means a lot to a lot of people in this fair. All these showmen are, this pig right here, he's had enough. He said, I'm gonna make me a nice little cool spot to lay down, and I'm gonna lay down in it. Making him a little burrow there to lay down in if he can just get it where he wants it. If not, we'll have a hole in the show ring, so it's okay. Riley was talking to the judge, answering questions, and while she was over there answering questions, her pig decided to get into some mischief and rearrange the sawdust in the show ring. In the corner of the screen there, you see Harley and Grant Boyce working their hogs together. Those hogs, I'm sure, have spent a lot of time together, been fed together. They found like company to hang out with during this senior show drive. Dylan Hutchison is bringing his hog back to the party. It had went to the other end of the ring, but it has now rejoined the other 5 hogs and the exhibitors down here on this end. And this is the point where all these showmanship are experienced. All these showmen are experienced, and they've spent time in the ring, and they know what they're supposed to do. And the questions that the judges ask get a little bit harder, and so it's going to take a little bit longer to break down these showmanship classes than maybe it will the market class. I don't know if it's coming through the microphone, but if you're close to the ring or ringside, you can hear the hogs showing their displeasure being out here, and they're starting to let everybody know their frustration. It started out as just Peyton dies, but now it's spread along to the other ones. Oh, we got a hog fight here in the middle of the ring. We got a couple ring hands here, quick to break it up.
Hog showmanship, final drive. All these exhibitors do a nice job. We went through and asked them, part of showmanship is evaluating your animal before you come to the show. And I know we had the market hog show earlier, but I asked each exhibitor, and my sister asked the exhibitor she talked to, take away what we said earlier. What are some things that you like about your pig? What do you dislike? You know, we don't have to always agree. I just am trying to build better stockmen at the end of the day because that's what this is about. And it builds a character that's going to lead these kids later on in life. And you know, we had some really great responses. I think all these exhibitors do a tremendous job. We're going to go look through them one more time. We'll go show you your champion. If you could, let's give these kids a nice big round of applause.
So just like with the market show, they're going to go out and shake the hand of the winner of the showmanship class. So as the judges back up here and get one final look. They change spots to see if the exhibitors can then get on the right side and then work the hog back towards them. Sam Williams is going to be your senior market hog showman. That is a huge congratulations to Sam Williams on the exhibit. That hog has worked well with him the whole evening. Sam has done a great job with those exhibits. And as you could see on the screen there, the judge walked up and talked to Peyton Dye, and I imagine it was something along the lines of, hey, you worked your tail off. You're just, your hog didn't cooperate quite as well as some of the others. But that's a heavyweight hog. It's been out here for a while. So really good job to every one of them in the showmanship. You know, growing up, I was always told that winning showmanship showed the exhibitor side of it. The market, if your animal grows and you feed it the right way and it does everything and it matches what the judge is looking for, you may win the market side. But as far as showmanship, that just shows how much time you've put in and how much work you've had with your exhibit, and that will truly show the amount of time that you've put into the project. We will have one class of intermediate showmen. So where there was 3 classes of senior showmen, there is only one. So there will be really no final drive. It's just going to be the one class, and I assume the Judge Hall will pick the winner, and that is who will be your grand champion intermediate showman. So in the ring so far, we have got Levi Lucky and Chloe Starcher. Up next into the ring, we have got Braxton Carpenter. Up next into the ring, we have Bentley Parsons. We have got Bristol Dye entering the ring now, followed by Jasmine White. Parker Dye has entered the ring, followed by Jackson X-Line. Looks like he's the next one out of the gate. We're still waiting on just a couple more here. Here comes Remington Harvey out of the gate. Now we've got Wyatt Lucky entering the ring. And I believe Wyatt is the last hog into this. So we have got a ring full of intermediate showmen trying to impress Judge Hall. And as we go down, we started obviously with the seniors, and now we're going to go into the intermediates and then go to the beginners. You're going to see the different ability level here, but at the same time, you just want to see these intermediates take what the judge told the seniors and apply it to them in the ring now and continue to build and be better hog exhibitors at the end than when they were here at the beginning. So that's kind of the goal at this point, is to just get some ring time and to get them an exposure of how to present the hog to the judge and take what he tells them, take what he or she tells them, and apply it to their memory, and then be able to come back when they start working in the spring with a new project and bring that back next year to the fair. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm sitting up here with a headset on the very top row on the back side of a show ring, and I can hear my youngest daughter, who is 2, screaming at the pigs at the other end of the show ring. So these headsets cancel out a lot of noise, so I'm sure she is not being very quiet. But she's having a heyday down there with the watching all the hogs. So Braxton Carpenter's doing a really nice job right there in front of the judge, keeping his hog right there where it's easily seen. And several of these intermediate showmen are doing a really nice job of keeping the hog right there where it's easy to see it's easy for the judge to see and watch them work the animal. Bristol Dye has joined an island of her own on the far end where her pig has decided to try to get out of the gate. I don't know if we can get on Bristol down there, but she was down there on island Bristol alone, away from everybody else. She's had a few people join her. Jackson Exline and Bentley Parsons have joined, and now as the judges go that way, you'll notice all the hogs are starting to go that way, so that's a good sign for these showmen. Some of the FFA desserts have made their way to the announcer stand right here beside us, and if you haven't got a bidding number, I would suggest you go get a bidding number here pretty quickly. You've got Justin Boyce in the ring telling me to bring up my enthusiasm. I don't know that you can have as much enthusiasm as a hog show as you can on a Friday night in a press box, but we're trying to do the best we can here. All right, Judge Hall is going to bring you his reasoning for this class.
You know, all these kids do an exceptional job, and you know, it comes down to little things for us, and you know, we might have taken a little bit more time going through this particular class, but we want to make sure all these kids got a look, because you know, they've worked so hard throughout the year for this moment, and just to have a few moments in the ring. We want to make sure all these kids get a fair look and a fair shot, so we're taking our time to go and look through all these things. If you could, let's give these kids another nice round of applause. We'll go show you our champion. It's been a real fun show to sort through these intermediates.
All right, they're going to go shake the hand of the grand champion exhibitor of the intermediate class. Judge Hall is working his way to the other end of the ring. Asking the exhibitors to bring him towards him one last time. Parker Dye is your intermediate grand champion showman for hogs.
Intermediate showman is Parker Dye.
Or your intermediate showman. I think all 3 classes will come back out later. So intermediate showman is Parker Dye.
As the intermediate showman is leaving the ring, Parker will be receiving a $50 cash prize Friday evening, sponsored by Hatfield Livestock and Swine. The beginner showman will be entering the ring, and their prize money is sponsored by Little Bitty Farm. Entering the ring for beginner showman is Cree Hill, Jesse Roberts, Adeline Lowe, Remington Wilson, Kinsey Crothers, and Luke Carter. At the conclusion of beginner showmanship, we will be taking photos of the grand champion and reserve champion. At the conclusion of those, the FFA members.
After they finish the beginner showmanship here, they will take pictures. Once we finish the last showmanship class, we're going to go ahead and shut down the feed, and we will be back tomorrow to bring you goat, lamb, and cattle shows. So be ready for that tomorrow evening. If you can't make it out, we encourage you to make it out. There's a lot of really nice vendors, a lot of really nice things to do at the Wirt County Fair. If you've never been here, I encourage you to come. It's a community that comes together anytime that there's tragedy, or anytime that there's a situation. The community comes together really nice, and the fair is a great example of just the community coming together without really needing a cause. Everybody just shows up, and it's hard to go 10 feet without somebody knowing you and wanting to talk and check up on you. And so it's just a really good time. So if you get an opportunity to come out to the fair, I'd encourage you to do that. But if not, we will be live streaming the livestock show tomorrow. But right now we have got Cree Hill in the ring with her hog. We have got Jesse Roberts in the ring with his hog. We have Adeline Lowe coming in. We now have Remy Wilson in the ring. Remington Wilson his hog's not wanting to leave the gate area. It's getting a nice little a push here from Steven Settle. The hog says, "I'm not going anywhere." This could be our entertainment for a little bit. Steven's trying to get low, but I've always heard the low man wins, and that hog's a little bit lower center of gravity than what Steven can get to. Kinsey Carruthers has joined the ring with her hog. We are going to have a total of 6 hogs in the ring. I think we're missing 1 hog, and there he is, Luke Hardbarger. So this will be the class of beginner showman. Cree Hills tried to be a mountain goat over there and climb a couple bales of hay, but she's got it back on all 4s, walking the right direction now. Kinsey Carruthers is doing a great job keeping her hog right there, right in front of the judges. Jesse Roberts is doing the same. Adeline Lowe's trying to get hers to cooperate and move the right direction. She's doing a great job not getting frustrated down there on that end. Remington Wilson's is back at the gate. These hogs, they know where they want to go, and that's to go back to their fans, to go back to their food bowls, to go back to their water. It's not to be in front of us any longer. All right, right, all the hogs have made their ways down to the judges, so the questions are being asked. If you were here earlier at the fairgrounds, you heard during the rabbit show, which we apologize we were unable to bring to you, but the judge was John Workman, who was the FFA advisor here for several years, was my FFA advisor when I was in high school. And one of the things he told to the beginner showmen is he was asking them questions. And the beginner showmen, some of them would try to make up an answer that may not be on the exact course of where he would want them to be. And then someone would just tell them, I'm not sure. He was appreciative of the ones that truly admitted that they didn't know and that they didn't try to make something up. But it's really good knowledge right now. I can remember some of the questions I was asked in showmanship whenever I showed animals, and it was one that I went and found the answer to as soon as the show was over if I didn't know. And it was something that stuck with me. Sometimes as things happen in our lives, we don't always remember them, but there's moments you can think back to, and being asked the questions in showmanship was something that I bet you, if you showed yourself, you could think back and remember some of the questions that were asked. And like we talked about with the senior showmen, their questions are harder. The beginner showman, it's entry level questions for these young people, and watching some of the young ones trying to get these hogs to do what they want to do is pretty comical. We can't get everybody on the screen at the same time, but just the seriousness of their faces, trying to get their hogs to cooperate and do what the older classes have done and do what they've seen done. Just a reminder that there will be an auction at the conclusion of this. We will not be broadcasting it, but if you would like a dessert and you're on the fairgrounds or you're around, come on over and get you a bidding number and bid on some desserts made by the FFA members. Remington Wilson's hog has got several of the ring crew down here just trying to get it to go the direction they want it to go, and that hog has absolutely no intentions of cooperating. He just wants to go back and relax, and that's not what is taking place on that end of the ring, as you can see in the corner of your screen. I think we've had at least 4 different ring crew trying to get that thing moving in the right direction. As the judge just stated there, it's this is where it all begins. You know, we talk about in sports realm as a coach, the foundation is, if you don't have a solid foundation, you're not going to have a very good program for these showmen. This is the foundation of their pig showmanship days and where they're starting. So it's important to take the time and ask them questions and watch them grow and give them information that they can retain. But it looks like the winning beginner showman is Adeline Lowe. Yeah, Adeline Lowe is your beginner showman. So
At this time, the beginner showman will be leaving the ring, and we will be bringing the Grand and Reserve.
So at this time, they're going to do the pictures for Grand and Reserve. So we appreciate you joining us tonight. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us, watching these kids. It's not exactly what we normally do, but WVRC Wirt County is bigger than just athletics. We want to shine a spotlight on anybody and everybody that puts in hard work especially with our youth. It's not an easy thing to raise an animal and take it to the fair, so we are glad to be able to shine the spotlight on them and appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back tomorrow evening and be able to bring you some goat, lamb, and cattle action. So with that, we appreciate you guys for listening to WVRC Wirt County.